Hey, Kerry here with Best of Us Investors. I've been talking to you for quite some time about investing in the stock market, and you might have noticed I've gotten kind of on a tangent about real estate, and it's because my attitude toward real estate has changed dramatically. I've owned real estate actually since I was 22 years old, which is 54 years ago, and as I say, my attitude has changed. We bought our first house on Ashland Avenue in Muncie, Indiana, and Nita shared with me today that her parents had given us $6,000, and we bought a $14,000 house. It was on the campus of Ball State, I think if I remember right, we had a mortgage payment of something like $100 a month, and we rented the upstairs out to college students and got $75 a month. So it cost us $25 a month to live. Well, things have changed quite a bit. We built this house about 30 years ago, and we paid $325,000 for it, and now it's worth somewhere around $700,000 here in Birmingham. So the situation has changed a lot. What I realized, though, is that as I was owning real estate up until now, if I would have bought, and I did buy, I was a slum landlord for a while. I bought real estate, and I was interested in it as an income source. But now that I've got my income more in line, and I don't need it as an income source, my attitude towards real estate as an investment has changed dramatically. So, in fact, I approach it from the point of view that I don't want income. And in fact, I want a mortgage so that I can leverage my good credit and low interest rates to improve my situation in real estate. So let me just fill you in on what I'm doing. And in order to do that, I need to take you to Hampton Gates and show you exactly what I've got going on. Okay, so we're here at Hampton Gates, and Hampton Gates is a subdivision of about 40 lots that I'm developing for a lawyer friend of mine. And this is the first spec house that I built. Now, my plan was I would build this house, and then I would turn around and sell it as the real estate agent to help stimulate more sales in the neighborhood. So I got to thinking as I got more and more into it that what I'm going to do is I'll build the house, and I'll owe the builder about $315,000. I paid $32,000 for the lot. I'm going to owe, if I sell it and somebody brings me the buyer, I'm going to owe a real estate commission on it. So all in all, after I sell it, I think I'm going to end up with somewhere between $30,000 and $40,000 of profit between the real estate commission and the built-in profit that I've put as the speculator. What I realized is, though, that immediately being in the 33% tax bracket, I'm going to owe a third of that, or let's say if it's $36,000, I'm going to owe $12,000 of it to the government, and probably more than that when you figure in the state taxes as well. So I said to myself, does that make any sense? To put all this work, all this time, and then give a third of it away? Well, no. The other issue is, unlike when I bought a house when I was 22 years old, I didn't need the income, or I don't need the income now, because it's going to be all taxable. So what I've decided to do is, rather than sell the house, I'm going to buy it or get a mortgage on it, and I'll probably leave my down payment, the price of the lot, and I'll probably have somewhere in the neighborhood of a $350,000 mortgage on this, and then I'll lease it out. I think I can get about $2,200, $2,300 a month for it. But I don't want to make any money, so my down payment will be controlled by after I take out the rent that I get, and then the mortgage payment, and then the taxes, and any other maintenance and that sort of thing. I want to zero out on monthly income. Now, how does that affect me? Well, first of all, I'll be able to deduct the interest that I pay on the mortgage from my other income. I'll be able to depreciate this house over a 27.5-year period of time. And all in all, it will reduce my taxable income by somewhere in the neighborhood of $20,000 a year, while at the same time I'm not paying down the mortgage. The guy that I'm leasing it to is paying down the mortgage. I'm gaining the appreciation, which conservatively I think might be 3% to 5% to 6% a year. So I'm growing wealth that way. So all in all, I have figured it out. In 5 years, I will take a investment of roughly $35,000 and turn it into, or the cost of the lot, and turn it into a net worth of somewhere around $132,000. Now, that made a lot of sense to me. But then I asked myself, well, who are you doing this for? In 5 years, you'll be, 81 years old? Who are you doing this for? I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it for my grandchildren, for my children. So I want to just add the caveat. Let's say that you're looking at this and you're saying, well, I'm 26 years old. I can't do this, or I'm 35. If I do that sort of thing, I want the monthly income. So I want to do it a different way. Well, let me ask you this. Go to your father, go to your grandfather, and ask them, explain the principle to them, that what I want to do is build a house. I then want to take mortgage, and you say, actually, I want you, Dad or Granddad, to take the mortgage out on it. I'll get it leased, so it doesn't really cost you anything, and then you put me as the beneficiary of that house when you pass away. And then I will have the equity that has been built up into it. And let's say your grandfather lives 20 years, or your father. You're going to have, what, $300,000 worth of equity there that you did nothing for other than instrument it, facilitate it. The guy who's renting the property built the equity for you. And that's the value of buying real estate and building equity as opposed to taking income. Now, where I think this is also exciting is if you are a foreigner and you want to invest in real estate in the United States and you don't want income, you want equity, this is the way to do it. So what I'm trying to do and what I'm working towards is putting together a team of realtors around the United States who recognize how to do this and how to structure it, and then I'm going to provide them with the paperwork so that they can just plug and play and say, okay, this is what my down payment's going to be. This is what my mortgage payment's going to be. This is what the interest is going to be. And then it comes down and it tells you whether it's a good investment or it's not. And I'll make that available to you also as I get this thing put together. But I just really, I guess, here I am, 76 years old. I've been buying real estate since I was 22, but I did it for a different reason. It's where I lived. At one point, I was a slum landlord, and I don't want to ever do that again. You don't want people in your house that aren't going to take care of it. It's just like your car. I mean, if you go to a city and you rent that car, do you take it and get it car washed if you have it for a week or two? No. You just drive it. You put gas in it and you just drive it. And that's part of owning rental property. You have to be on top of it. You have to make it clear to the people you rent to, once a month I'm going to come by and see how you're treating my investment. And if you're not, it's a condition for me to evict you. And that's just the way you got to go about it. So this is why I'm excited about real estate, not to create income. In fact, what will happen is that rather than pay income, or rather than take income, I'll just go build another house on another lot and create another one, because it's not me that's going to pay for building the wealth. It's me that's used my mind and used my knowledge to put myself in a position to build wealth. And that's what I want to teach you to do. So if this kind of video intrigues you a bit and you want to learn more about it, sign up for Best of Us Investors right down here. And I'll send you a morning letter. I send out a letter every day the market is open. And then I'll connect you to our Discord. You'll find a link there. And that's where we share more information. In fact, I'm teaching a class about this very thing for realtors, and I'm going to teach it for individuals as well. Because if you're doing what I'm doing as an investor, you need to also set up a separate tax entity, whether it be a limited partnership or a partnership or a sole proprietor, whatever, so that you gain the tax advantages, so that the losses that you might show, like I'm going to here, can be written off against your day job income. So I'm excited about this. I'll continue to do videos on stocks and investments, but real estate is really something that I didn't come to understand like I needed to until now, and I want you to get there quicker than I did.